Now, from the Octavian server.
Wait, hold on. You know, these last 2 episodes of DC News, it has been declared that this broadcast is coming to you live from the Octavian server. But this broadcast isn't live, and it isn't even on the Octavian server. Well, we can at least fix one of these things. Hey, you over there. Please, can you help me? He's got me locked in here. I haven't seen an actual person in weeks. Please, get me out of here. Help me find my family. Hey, please. Please, no. Please don't go.
Now, from the Octavian server, the award-winning DC News, with Suspended Crow, Stanley Weather, and Timmy Sports. We bring them to you now, live.
Good afternoon, my name is Hispanic Crow, finally, coming to you from the Octavian server. Tensions increased further between the warring Herbalists and the Stormmasters, resulting in the feud to escalate from a mere prank war to an actual war. While similar to what was happening before, this new declaration from the Stormmasters means that the rules of war are expanded, and death is fully on the table. The Archmage of the Stormmasters, Mr. Stilio Kills, announced this escalation in a book and quill directed to the Herbalists. The Herbalist member, a duck with a monocle, previously known as Anne May, was the first to find this book. The book reads as follows. Declaration of War. We, the Storm Masters, and the Fire Nation, declare war upon the unhonorable Herbalist Academy. The war will be fought with swords and men, and will draw blood. Terms of your surrender. 1. We demand the complete disarming of your military. 2. We demand the building of a great trident in a location to be negotiated along with the building of an embassy. 3. We demand the training to use the ability of bone meal at a lesser cost. Agreeing to all the terms of surrender will bring the return of your mule. The signing of your surrender will be held in the great halls of Storm's End Castle. Signed, Mr. Steelyoke Hills, Archmage of the Storm Masters, God of the Waves and Storm. As you've just heard, the Storm Masters and the Fire Nation have officially formed an alliance and banded together to attempt to snuff out the Herbalists and the Night Sorcerers. War then began to break out, with an army marching towards the Herbalist Academy, meeting up with their raid camp and, pardon the pun, storming the Herbalist gates. The battle was vicious. The Herbabot even helped out by upgrading its drones to grant them the ability of flight. With the panic of this war declaration and the ensuing battle, the Archmage of the Herbalists, Kavagram, created a plan to raid the Stormmaster's base and steal their possessions, utilizing the invisibility that the Night Sorcerers could provide them. We have a series of clips from this raid, taken by our correspondent, Army Crow.
Hello there. My name is Army Crow. You might recognize this as the exact same voice as Cartographer Crow, but that's not so. My name is Army Crow. I have been summoned from the great depths because there is a war brewing. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I already knew that. I've kept it up to date. I watch DC News. I know that there's a war coming, but no. Things have gotten so much worse. You see, I don't quite know what exactly started it or escalated it, but now Steel has escalated it to a formal declaration of actual war, meaning that we can now kill each other. Now, this is not good news, people. Not good news at all. So, here shortly, hopefully Kavagram will be joining us, and we will be doing a great and terrible siege. Keep it secret. Keep it secret. Also, I apologize for any Discord bleep bloops that you might hear. That is how Kvalgrim and I are communicating. Secretly. Now let me just tell you a little bit about what I've managed to acquire. Unfortunately, I recently perished and lost everything when visiting a nice little hamlet called Port City. Now, that's alright, because I've managed to get things pretty much back to where they were. Let me show you. We have Engurvedal. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. I don't actually know. This was actually a gift from Mindgrinder. We have unnamed netherite leggings with these enchantments. I made those myself. We have these boots. Not great boots, not at all. I would have liked some feather falling, but here they are. Then finally, I have this diamond helmet. Also it's okay. It's alright. And then the pièce de résistance. Starry Surrender. My new bow. Also I have this. The shield called Cloak of Night, which has a C. Stands for crow. Beautiful.
Hey, Crow.
Hello, Kvalgrim. Are you able to hear me?
What's with your voice? It's a bit weird.
It's my army voice. You
Oh,
might...
it's an army voice, okay.
Yeah, you might confuse it with the cartographer Crow voice, but no, this is something totally different.
Okay.
Yes. Alright, well. I'm ready whenever you are. And I'm meant to, like, grab this stuff, right, and hide it somewhere? Excellent.
Sorry I didn't get to build myself a war costume in time.
No.
I just came home from a birthday party for my now 53-year uncle, so...
Nice ride, babe.
Oh, I just remembered something I forgot. Buckets.
Buckets.
Oh, there's one.
I have 2 buckets.
Yeah.
Probably only need 1, though.
I need to make a rather cute. Let me get a. There we go. Event marker. Good. Okay, gonna make a really crude stasis chamber for ender pearls there.
Okay.
That's the plan. So this needs to be at least 6 blocks deep. I think we should have 7 just to be safe.
Okay.
Just keep this open until it's finished. Okay, and at the bottom it's gonna be salt sand, and we're gonna fill this with.
6.
Yeah, you know what? We can just dig down. That works too.
Sorry.
Just craft myself some ladders. It's probably a good idea. Okay, so the chamber is done.
Okay.
So I suppose I should work on the chamber while you go do your thing.
I guess so.
Okay, I think you should strip down to just what you're willing to lose, plus elytra and potion and rockets.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so...
Alright, I am really nervous about this, but Godspeed, and
Thank you.
let me know when you want me to disturb the pearl.
Gotcha. Do we know exactly where this stuff is? Should I go start looking underneath the hidden pond area, or...?
Well, you did recon the area.
Yeah.
There were shulkers there, right?
There were. Oh yeah, I'll just find whatever shulkers I can find.
Yeah, just steal any shulkers you can find.
Alright, sounds good.
Most of the Storm Master's possessions were successfully stolen and hidden in a secret vault which was located behind the herbalist's base. At first, due to this, it appeared that the Storm Masters were giving up, as they then agreed to a temporary truce and began the journey of delivering back the herbalist's stolen duck and mule. This was a trick, however, and the duck was beheaded upon delivery, with the mule strung up and dangling from a rope precariously. Kvagrim attempted to save the mule, but it unfortunately ultimately perished due to fall damage. Shortly after this, it was revealed that the Storm Masters had mysteriously discovered the whereabouts of this vault, and rescued their belongings within 48 hours of it being hidden. The newest member of the Storm Masters, the real Iglesias, was able to cause a panic amongst the herbalists, causing Kvagrim to enter the vault for inspection. The vault had been rigged to blow, which caused the death of the herbalist archmage. Kvagrim then declared a defeat, surrendering the war. He was sure to state, however, that the herbalist would rebuild. The real Iglesias stole Kvagrim's items, but the archmage of the Night Sorcerers was able to sneak into the Storm Master's base and recover the lost items. With the war finished, Mindgrinder and Mr. Steelio-Kills had a meeting in which the archmage of the Night Sorcerers decided that their alliance with the herbalists would end. Mindgrinder burned the alliance contract within the Blue Flames, and has explained that this does not mean that the Night Sorcerers are enemies with the herbalists, just that the official partnership had ended. To quote Mindgrinder, "Maybe someday we'll go back. Who knows what the future of this game will bring. Most important is that it takes different turns sometimes to keep the excitement, and I felt we had been on the herbalist side for too long. After this war was a good place to quit." In the world after the war, a new cult has risen up, the Rainbow Cult. Not much is known about it, nor their plans, but even so, Disbanded Crow was quick to join. Here we have a clip demonstrating that initiation ritual. It was also discovered that a group of Night Sorcerer citizens attempted to flee and break away from the Night Sorcerer faction once the war became at its worst. The Archmage of the Night Sorcerers, Mindgrinder, rounded these deserters up and gave them a swift end in response to their treasonous ways. A gallows and executioner have been installed for this purpose. And that is the end of the updates. The war was escalated, and then the war ended swiftly. What will the future hold? Will the Storm Masters secure power with the Fire Nation now that they are the most powerful guild? Only time will tell. Now that the war is over, the DC News staff will begin a series of interviews with various participants. Please enjoy as we interview Mr. Steelio-Kills, Jar Boys, and the Herbabot. Mr. Steelio-Kills, welcome. Happy to have you here at the DC News studio.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we here at DC News, we wanted to go ahead and give you a brief interview, just to get to know the latest victor in this great war that we just had.
Yes. I am the greatest victor of all time. You know it is.
Yes, I mean you are the first one. So I suppose by default the first one would be the greatest of all time.
Yep, the greatest. Yep, the greatest. You got that right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I will go ahead and go down this list of questions I have, and just respond naturally.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well, so we have here Mr. Steelio-Kills, the man, the legend, and the self-proclaimed god of the waves and storm. You and your guild have just been through a vicious war and are, of course, the victors. In your own words, how would you say the war went?
Well, at first we got off to a little bit of a rough start. We got I wouldn't really say we had the first blow, but we were definitely hit hard at first. But overall, I think it turned out pretty good for us. I mean, we kind of did win, so there's always that.
Mm-hmm. That is.
And yeah, I think it turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
All right. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. You are. Yes, you are the victors. Now, of course, at the beginning with your sorcerer's game, as you were becoming initiated, you of course decided that you would end up choosing the Storm Masters. Was there any particular reason for that? Anything that drew you to the guild that you're at now?
Well, I like to strengthen the weak, and I kind of realized that the Storm Masters were in a pretty bad place when I joined. I mean, there was very little to no settlement at all, and all the previous members have all but faded out or died. So it seemed like a natural choice for me. And I felt a particular draw to the ocean and the waves just from the beginning. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Absolutely. Well, this is very true, and I suppose the Blood Sorcerers are now in a similar way. Very interesting.
Yes.
With your answer there, do you plan to one day maybe defect just like Anne May did and join the Blood Sorcerers?
I don't think so, because I don't really have sort of any draw to the Blood Sorcerers at all.
Fair enough. And you are, of course, now the leader of the Storm Masters.
Yes, I am. It'd be kind of weird if the leader were to defect to another clan or guild.
True. All right. You and the Fire Nation teamed up to declare war together against the Herbalists and the Night Sorcerers. However, the war seemed to end with your victory very shortly thereafter. Was the Fire Nation ever able to provide you with, a decent amount of help before the end of this war, or was it over too quickly for them to participate?
Well, for the most part, the war was over too quickly for almost anybody to participate fully. I mean, the Night Sorcerers only participated in the very end. There was only our attack and Herbalist defense on the war. Really, that's all there really was.
It's true.
And allying with the Fire Nation was a sort of a strategical move. I mean, we do like them, and it was more about like, we do need them, but we also don't need a 3v1, as the Herbalists and Night Sorcerers were already against us, and we really don't want to add someone else to that list.
That's true. And now you've become essentially you're the two strongest guilds. I don't think that's unfair to say. And you've become somewhat of a superpower on the server.
I mean, you could definitely say that, but I think the Night Sorcerers are rising up, and the Herbalists are growing at a quite accelerated rate, as you may see from their academy. So, I guess I can accept that maybe we are the two strongest at the moment, but I don't think that'll be for very long.
Fair enough. You met with Mindgrinder shortly after the war was over, and during this meeting, the Archmage of the Night Sorcerers ended up ceasing the alliance that they had with the Herbalists. How did that meeting come about, and did you have to convince the Mindgrinder to end the alliance?
Well, I think it was... I didn't have to do too much convincing, but I think it was more of just, look what we did to the Herbalists, and since they're allied with the Herbalists, I don't really think the Night Sorcerers wanted any piece of what we gave to them. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Fair enough. I suppose the Night Sorcerers did get off fairly scot-free from this war. All they really got is a bamboo delivery. And the death.
You could definitely say,
and of course, the death of their unnamed horse.
Oh yeah, that poor horse.
Yes. It seems apparent to me, to this reporter at least, that within this war, the Storm Masters were the main aggressor. Under your leadership, is that a statement that you would agree with?
I would not say that. I mean, we were the first ones to attack, but I don't really know what you classify as an attack, because our attack was maybe a few propaganda pamphlets, and we got quite a response from that. So I wouldn't really say that we're the main start of the war, but although we were the first, it definitely isn't us to blame for the war.
No, of course, but what I mean is more like you were the driving force behind many of the major events that happened within the war. For example, now, of course, feel free to disagree, but for example, declaring peace and then launching forgive the pun, storming the herbalist base, and then stealing the mule and such. Major key events that happened within the war. Would you say that?
Well, some things were just out of our retaliation from herbalist attacks, but I will say that the herbalists did ask for peace, but the only reason they asked for peace is because they attacked and they were afraid for what was going to come next.
Very good. Very bold statement.
Yes, very bold.
Oh. You once declared that you would create a specific area dedicated to the sacrificing of ducks. Now that the war is over, do you still plan on creating those grounds?
Well, I'm not going to deny that there is blueprints for a sacrificial station inside of the keep, but I think we should leave it at that.
Indeed. Your name, Mr. Steelio Kills, implies that Steelio Kills is your last name. Would you be willing to share with us your first name?
Unfortunately, that is a confidential information that is known to only a few storm masters, and yeah,
Interesting.
confidential information.
Okay. Well, looking at you, you appear to resemble an ebony slime. Is that a mask, or are you not actually human?
It is well, long ago, I did undergo an accident where I may have been experimenting on some slimes and may not have gone to plan, and that plan may have resulted in me looking like I do today, like a weird looking slime. And that is how it came to be.
All right, well, guild leader, self-proclaimed god, and scientist.
Not a very good scientist, though.
Well, you know, all gotta start somewhere.
I guess that's true.
All right, now for probably my favorite question in this list. You are a member of the most mysterious and one of the longest-running groups on the server. 2. Is there anything at all you can tell us about this group?
What was the group called again?
2, I believe it was. TWO.
I really don't know what you're talking about. I have never heard of this group before.
All right. It's okay. Mr. Steelio Kills. I think there are a lot of people interested in this next question. Is there a Mrs. Steelio Kills?
There's not a Mrs. Steelio Kills, but I do have many people that are close to me. One of them being my general, but I would like to keep this professional, Mr. Crow. If you catch what I'm saying.
Well, even though you just said that, I'm going to ask my next question. Will you go on a date with me?
Wow. I am quite shocked. I think I have to. I think I will accept that.
Okay.
I think we can go somewhere.
Excellent. Well, good. All right. Well, for my final question, now that you've won this war, what does the future hold for you? Are the Storm Masters looking for total world domination?
Well, we're still in a conversation on what is going to happen now that the war is over. We don't plan on doing anything quite so soon, as things have been kind of crazy last little while. It's best to let things cool down. But my general, Jarboys, he definitely has a lot of things brewing in his deep within his keep, within the keep, that I'm sure he's more than willing to use his plans for the Storm Masters. I don't know what I'm saying.
I think I catch your drift. All
Yes,
right.
there's definitely be more to come.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that concludes all of my questions. Is there anything final you wanted to say before the end of this interview?
No, I don't think there's much else I was planning to say.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming here to the brand new DC News studio, and I absolutely appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me, and I must say, may the waves be with you.
Yes, and may the waves be with you as well.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. Well, look who we have here. Oh, if it isn't just the most spectacular specimen of a human being I've ever seen. Oh, it's Jar Boys. Oh boy, I am such a big fan of yours. I've never interviewed someone before, but when I heard that we were going to be doing interviews here at DC News, I just knew I had to be the one to interview you because, I mean, what an honor this is.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on. I'm a big fan of yours too, Timmy.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm happy to hear that. When we're done here, would you be willing to sign one of my logs?
I would be honored to sign one of your logs.
Truly, this is a special day. All right, well, so I have some questions here I'm supposed to ask you regarding the war that just happened. As you know, you were in it, first casualty. So I'll start going through these questions if that's all right with you.
That would be wonderful.
Excellent. All right. Well, so now, Jar Boys, you were the first casualty, and I mean, just congratulations, truly. What an honor that must be. I mean, how does it feel to be the first member of the war to feel the sweet, loving embrace of death?
It felt pretty fitting that when I died over the waves, fighting our enemies. It was just a wonderful experience. I wouldn't have traded in any other moment for that one.
Oh, truly inspiring. Would you say that your death was worth it, especially now that your team is the one who won this war?
Yes, it was well worth it. You see, when we were going into that fight, we knew our strategy for that one was to get them distracted, get in, steal their mule, and get out before they even knew it hit them. And I feel like my death played a huge part in that plan. And in the end, it was well worth it with how it turned out.
Absolutely. I am sure. So, and you've stated that your death, on record you've stated that your death was, and I quote, merely a distraction for our bigger plan. Was that the bigger plan? Was that to steal their mule?
Yes, their mule was the priority target in that one. Because in watching the tapes that they have provided us, and our spy camps, and our spies that we eventually built, they told us that his mule was very special to him. So we knew that we had to take it captive if we were going to have a huge chance of winning that war.
Sounds good. I mean, was he a good guest? That duck and that mule? Did you like him?
Yes. Their cage. Originally, I wanted to build it smaller, but Steele eventually told me that we had to treat it nicely if we were gonna have it live long enough for the bigger plan to be executed.
Yeah. Prisoners of war. I mean, they are just so needy sometimes. Honestly.
I know they require food, a bed, a place to go to the washroom, which we may have forgotten. But other than that, it was a wonderful cell.
Well, and isn't it just fitting that, at the end of the day, you did give him back, and it was Kavagram himself who killed him.
Yes, we totally gave him back. That was definitely not a disguise.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm just gonna leave that there. Um,
Yes.
let's see. Now, of course, you ended up choosing the Storm Masters in the Sorcerer's game. Was there any reason that you went that route, as opposed to joining any other guilds? Did this one just speak to you?
The Storm Masters, I've always felt invested in the waters and steel. He required more assistance than he was getting. So I felt like I was obligated, and the waves were just calling to me. I could see them every time I looked out my base. I could see them crashing against my shores, just calling to me. I felt like I needed to be part of this.
Absolutely beautiful. Truly inspiring stuff. All right, well, now that this war is over, do you have any special plans? What does your future hold for you?
Well, as you know, I am the one who is constructing the keep, and I have major plans to renovate it, as I feel that it needs some upgrading after this war. It needs some proper places for us storm mages to live, for us to house and stuff. Bigger watchtowers, bigger towers, bigger everything. Everything needs to be bigger, taller, more grand, and most importantly, it needs to be finished. The interior, a great hall looks wonderful, but everything else could use some work.
Well, fair enough, and I suppose, any potential next times, it'll just be that much of a quicker victory for you guys.
That is the plan.
So this last question I have isn't one that was given to me or anything, but it's just one that I felt, personal. I added a little personal touch to these questions. Let's just say that hypothetically, I knew someone who, they've been single for a really, really long time, and this person was maybe of the blue flame variety. On a scale of 1 to 10, how interested would you be?
Ooh, blue is a nice color. I don't know, I might give it a shot. It seems like it'd be a fun time.
All right, well. Okay, well, good answer. I suppose that's all the questions I had today. Thank you so much for visiting the brand new DC News studio. It was truly a special honor to have you here.
The honor was mine. And would you like a selfie?
I would absolutely love. I would nothing more. Please, yes.
All right, let's go. Hopping over the decks.
This is.
Here we go.
Oh,
Got some nice selfies for you.
oh, beautiful. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, here we are now at the Herbalist base. We are here to interview the Herbabot. So, hello, Herbabot. Very nice to meet you. So, Kavagram did make me a user on this thing. So let's see if I know how to make it work. So, from what I understand, so you prefer Azure Blues. There are no Azure Blues. Well, let me go see if I can find some. Sorry, Kavagram, I have to steal a few Azure Blues. I will return them. Why am I lagging? Okay, great. Alright, so now I have the Azure Blues, and let's see if I know how this thing works. I think I do, just by seeing Kavagram's videos. Let's give it a shot. So what I think I do is I have to rename, in this case, an Azure Blue to whatever my question is. So let's just give it a little test. Let's say, do you know who I am? see what it does with that. So I pop it in here, and I have to wake the bees, prime Herpabot IO, and consume question flora. Alright, so wake the bees. Okay. Prime the Herpabot IO. I'm going to guess that's fine. And we consume the question flora. No, okay. You are Disbanded Crow. Alright, well, good. It knows who I am. Seems to be working. Here, buddy, let me just clean up a bit of these. Okay. Alright, let me think. What should the next question be? Alright, so we'll ask it the next question. I think maybe like something like what I asked Steele. Maybe, how do you think the war went? Pop you in there. Bad. We lost. Yep, fair enough. Yeah, the Herbalists and the Night Sorcerers both lost that one. That is true. That is a shame. I gotta say, it's a little bit odd interviewing someone who cannot quickly speak back to me, but let's give this a shot. Oh, let's pick that one back up. I want to ask it, what's the reason that it accounts to their loss? Why did we lose? How about that? What do you think, Herbabot? Why did we lose? A lack of a ballista. Lack of a ballista. Oh, it's getting dark. Yeah, I think Kavagram and the Herpabot had a little bit of a spat about the ballista. Wanted to put one up on these walls. Okay, well, fair enough, I suppose. Is there a bed around here that I can sleep? I would hate to... Go away. I would hate to... Here we go. Don't want to get a creeper blowing up the Herpabot. Alright, here's something I want to ask it. In the episode in which Kavagram introduced it, the Herpabot, he explained that it was an older model of the Grumbot from Hermitcraft, Season 7. Which is quite interesting. I want to confirm if that's true. Version of Grumbot. Oops, accidentally. There we go. Oh, okay. Correct. Well, quite interesting. With this being an older version of Grumbot, and the Mumbo for Mayor t-shirt that I wore a couple episodes back, could the Octavian server and the Hermitcraft server be linked somehow in some sort of connected universe? No, probably not. But one can dream. Alright, now this will be an interesting question. I want to ask him what his thoughts are on Stanley. Thoughts on Stanley? Because of course Stanley really fears the bees that the Herpabot produces. Maybe he shouldn't. He fears us. Probably shouldn't. Okay, well, I'm not a huge fan of how you said probably shouldn't. Okay. Well, before I leave, I suppose I'll ask one more related question. So I want to ask, what we could have done better in the war, you know? I already asked it why we lost, but, you know, maybe it'll give some better advice. What could we have done better in... Okay, can you go... to win. That'll work. Okay. What could we have done better, or what could we have done to win? Built a ballista. Well, alright. Well, I suppose that's all the time I have for you today, Herbot. Thank you very much for your time. I'm gonna leave these flowers in this barrel. And, yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, and I will talk to you later. And I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you truly enjoyed this extra long episode of DC News. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment, give us your feedback, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.